Hello Fifi's collectors, this is me, Daniel East 1000, back again with another Star Wars The Black Series figure review. And today we're going to be having a look at NED-B from the smash hit TV show Obi-Wan Kenobi. I suppose this video is going to be a bit of a Rancher East 1000 video, but it has to be done because this marks my first windowless, plastic packaging free FIGGIE that I've picked up. And you know, plastic free packaging has been about for a hot minute, but this is the first time because I've been very skeptical, mainly because of the price point on a lot of the figures that we've had released. Halloween figures just didn't interest me at all. I don't know why Hasbro bothered with them, that have just been repacked, repainted, slight retools, and they're just not worth it. For 30 quid, no. You're using less plastic, you would think that it was going to see a little bit of a reduction in cost and pricing. No, it hasn't, not at all, because, oh boy, I know this is going to be discounted very, very soon, but I do like NED-B and I did be wanting him. I'm sure I'll find some discounts with other figures that will balance it all out. But nonetheless, here we have NED-B. Here he is in his plastic-free packaging. I'm very on the fence with plastic-free. First and foremost, I understand why Hasbro are doing it, saving the planet. I'm all for that. But I could also see the collector side of it, where we want to see our figures. You know, Hasbro's quality control can be a little bit ropey, and a lot of us do like, when we're in store, just to have a flick through the different types of figures, just to see which version's the best, to try and get our value for money, particularly if you are a stickler for detail. I'm not really the biggest stickler for paint application, but there are those out there that are, and I completely dig that. You be picky, you be you. So having this, you can't do that. And you're literally going off the glam shot that Hasbro's got there. So there's a big debacle at the minute about pinless joints and things like that. I've not really read into it too much, but effectively Hasbro Photoshop over where the pins might be. I get that, it's mis-selling you. I mean, it's similar to what any fast food chain does. And there's a big honky chonky burger and you just get a piddly little tiddly thing that you're just going to eat in one bite. I get completely wanting to see the figure. You don't know what you're going to get. So in some instances, people have picked these figures up and they've had multiples of accessories. They've had the wrong figure in some instances. People are knobheads. They've either done it in store or gone back home, ripped the figure out that they want, replaced it with a wrestling figure, returned it to the shop and like, oh yeah, that's fine. Put it on the shelf again. I mean, looking at it, I mean, obviously the things to check will be the tabs, seals on there to make sure that it's not been tampered with. I think there could have been a little bit of a window thing going on. Just one sheet of plastic window. And then the figure just, you know, strapped in the box. Answers on a postcard. I think Hasbro could have handled it better. I think the price point certainly could be adjusted to be a bit more of a friendly introduction to this. But we've got this now. It's plastic free. Let's just have a quick look around the little box here. You've got, of course, the picture, a glam shot of the figure. Star Wars The Black Series Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's not dissimilar from what we've had previously, and that colour blend goes all the way round, so it's blue for Kenobi. You got NED-B there, looking innocent and sweet, even though he's holding that blaster. On the side, there is actually something there now because it actually details what you're going to get. So you've got your figure, and then you've got your accessories. So it comes with the hammer and the droid blaster. And then, of course, because Hasbro wants to take the moral high ground and inform you what they've done here. Oh, it's plastic-free packaging. On the back, you've got, well, standard stuff. Picture of the figure itself there. Star Wars The Black Series, a rundown on the bio. That's the weird thing. All these Kenobi figures don't have bios pertain to the characters themselves. It's to the show, which is a little bit disappointing, a little bit cheap. Nonetheless, you've got what the number of the character is, Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then a ton of legal MacGuffle that we all know and love. And at the bottom there, same thing. No window at the top there. Anyways, let's now get into unboxing the figure. I've got my scalpel and I'm doing it from the bottom. That was very dangerous. Don't do that, kids. Here we go. So you open up the box, you've got your typical little leaflet Madoobry there, and then you've got this big cardboard tray. And there's the figure covered in Star Wars The Black Series wrapping. Okay. Okay. Stop it, you. Stop it. You shouldn't look that good. I'm trying to make a point about why I don't like this. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. So, anyway, you've got the figure there, mummified, and it's Star Wars The Black Series wrapping. And then you've got its accessories in these separate bags that are attached just in the side here. So they're all, okay, so they're all sealed up like this. Here, I can see clearly now the packaging's gone. We've got his backpack, we've got his hammer, and we've got his little droid blaster. Kind of feels very medical. Is that just me? It's like I've bought some drugs, but yeah, there's the accessory. I mean, I do feel like doing it this way, Hasbro's putting more effort in boxing them than they really need to. Resources to do this compared to just dunking it in a, you know, plastic box. Take these cardboard straps off, and this is it. It's a messy experience. Grand reveal. Oh, hello you. He's a chunky boy. Oh boy. Stop it. We're trying to be mad at the packaging here. You. Oh, he's a fine boy. We'll get to you in a bit. But yeah, it feels like a lot more effort that they'd need to go through to package a figure up like this. Because, you know, you've got the resources to package up the accessories individually, then you've got to wrap the figure in the thing, and you've got to seal it in there. Yeah. I mean, I suppose in some sense, the fact that it takes them time, I guess, to do all this, the factory workers on the wage that they're on are certainly going to take the time, you would think, to inspect the figure to make sure that it's going to be right. I mean, fair's if not, because the pittance that they're going to be paying you for. First world problems, people. Let's just move swiftly on into the figure. That's my thought. It's not a bad thing. Having opened my first one, I'm feeling a little bit more chill, a little bit mellow, and having a look at that figgy. So let's move away from packaging now, alright? So here we have the figure itself out of the packaging, which is the main thing that we should be concerned about. Apologies. 7 minutes talking about packaging isn't ideal, I know, but I've finally addressed it. We can move forward and focus on the actual products now. Is it worth it? That's what we need to ask ourselves now. So here he is, NED-B, looking very, very chunky, very, very innocent. He's an innocent looking boy. There's not a single thought behind those eyes, you would think. There is. Sometimes you don't have to speak because actions speak louder than words. And NED-B is a testament to that. Because he doesn't talk in the show, but oh boy does he do some action, and he does crump a lot of stormies in his final fleeting moments. R.I.P. me brother, R.I.P. So yeah, NED-B goes out fighting so that Path and Obi-Wan can attempt to escape. It's a very emotional scene. And that's why I'm very, very fond of him, and I had to pick a figure at the extortionate retail prices at. But looking at some of those details, of course, we've spoken about the head. It's very, very cool. Got some doodads that go around the back there. His big, chunky backpack. Interested to note, there's not really too much weathering going on with this or on his back. But on the front, there's a lot of scrapes and scuffs to show that he's well worked. And so much so that he's had to have a replacement arm, which is accurate. Moving on further down, you've got his torso, his legs, and there's some scuff marks on there painted on. These little tootsies as well, looking very, very nice. Not really too much weathering going on around the back. It looks quite plain there. Would have been nice to have seen a little bit more just to match it up with the front. I mean, they did manage to put some scratch marks on his booty, so he has been having a nice little sit down. So much so that he's got some grazes and scuffs there. He's just got a real presence. I think it's because of the colour, but also obviously due to the size of him, because he's quite a big figure, and this is a deluxe figure. So he does look very, very good, very imposing, also quite wholesome at the same time, which is accurate to how he is in the show. In terms of the accessories that he comes with 3, kind of briefly noted, but he comes with this big chunky hammer, which has some nice paint apps on it. You got a bit of brown there and some black paint on the end. He does hold that quite nicely. And then in this hand, I've got him holding the droid blaster. Now, the interesting thing about this blaster weapon, because NED-B joins Obi-Wan and the rest of the Path to Jabim, Now, Jabeam is quite notable in original Star Wars canon, just because a very big battle happened there during the Clone Wars, and it was actually one that Obi-Wan led a clone battalion into. So a lot of the weapons that the Path use are Separatist and Galactic Republic, as a little bit of a nod to that comic. So I don't know if they've quite made that battle canon now, because it was a Dark Horse comic, but it's cool that they put a little bit of thought into that, and particularly the weaponry that they were using, because it's stuff that's just been left lying around, I suppose. But yeah, NED-B comes with that, and then also on the back here, as we did mention, the backpack, of which is a separate piece, and it connects via this peg and slot, and then also these little pieces here actually attaching, of which I didn't notice to begin with. And then I was like, well, why isn't it sitting quite flush? I was like, oh, okay, so that actually pegs in, these pieces peg into there, and it just sits like that. I wouldn't really call it an accessory. It's removable though, and it's a thing. That's all the accessories. One additional thing to note as well is the fact that on his front there, he's got some Aurebesh, and then likewise on the back. Now, it reads on the front, NED-W, and then on the back, it reads NED-1. So, don't know if the character had numerous name changes throughout pre-production, or if it's kind of like a nod to the fact that, naturally because he's had a replacement arm, has he had replacement parts? Who knows? But just a little bit of tidbit to note there, just in what the Aurebesh actually reads. So I'm kind of leaning to the fact that everything in Star Wars, mainly droids and things like that, are always recycled. They're always getting new parts just to keep them maintained. And I think that's what's happened here with old NED-B. But anyways, in terms of articulation, he has a ball jointed head, a ball joint in the neck, so he can look down. It is kind of limited though. He's got butterfly joints in the shoulders, although this arm's, it doesn't really want to do it in this arm. It works fine in this one, but yeah, it's a little bit stiff on this side, on my copy. Ball jointed shoulders, a hinge at the elbow, and then there's also a rotation there as well, so you can bring it out like so. Swivels at the forearm, and then ball jointed wrists, ball jointed torso, ball jointed hips, swivels at the tops of the thighs, hinged knees, and they do have a swivelly part there as well. You can kick them around, and ball jointed ankles with the rocker joints. Interesting to note about the joints, much like K2SO, the Dark Trooper, Hasbro have kind of included these translucent articulation points, so it looks like those actual holes are hollow. So there's a nice bit of imitation used there, likewise on the legs and on the feet. Yeah, that's NED-B. That's all his articulation. You can get him in some really good poses. I really do like this figure. I think he's great. I've not been able to put him down, to be quite honest. It would have been nice to see a bit more paint application just to make him look a little bit more bruised and battered, particularly around the back there. Nonetheless, I'm really, really pleased with this guy. I think he looks great. Very accurate to how he looks in the show, and he's definitely a good representation on your figgy shelf. I do wish to see more droids in the line, because that's a very untapped thing. Not 100% on the price though, 35 quid. If you can get him deep discounted, I definitely recommend it. I'm sure he will. But let me know what you guys think. Will you be picking NED-B up? Sound off down there. And while this is me, Daniel East 1000, signing out, and thank you very much for watching.